G'day and welcome to another episode. My name is Daethstro, the Aussie Geek, and today we are looking at Kingdom Cyclonus. Now I know what you're saying, Dave, you're a little bit behind. We're up to United at this point, and I'm like, yes, I know. I was looking at my shelf, specifically where I have my Cyclonuses, Galvatrons, sweeps, and all that, and I'm like, you know what? Despite the ongoing argument of who became Cyclonus, we still had the Armada, which is what I've got this guy for. We did get Armada, who was either Skywarp or Bombshell, and we can argue about that till we go red in the face. Feel free to bring the comments up in the comment section. But I did feel that not having Armada on my shelf did mean that I was excluding one of the Season 1 characters. Now, I know you can argue the fact that by the end of the scene, the 86 movie, we end up with 4 sweeps and 1 Cyclonus. And we lost 1 sweep during the escape of Autobot City and Earth, so that's why we only have Scourge, 2 sweeps, and Cyclonus. Don't care. Armada was there. I'm not losing either Bombshell or Skywarp. So I thought, you know what? I've got 2 sweeps. I've got Scourge. I've got Cyclonus. I've got Galvatron. And now, as far as I'm concerned, I have Armada. So yes, this is Kingdom Cyclonus. I also got a lot of people tell me after I got this figure, and I was fully aware of it, he will yellow. If he's in the sun or even not in direct sunlight, he will yellow. Now, I admit I plan on keeping this guy in his alt mode because that's what I wanted him for. So I'm not too concerned about the yellowing, but considering there is some portions of the figure that you can see in alt mode that will potentially color, and saying that also, apparently there's a chance the indigo and all that will turn yellow too. I will just wait and see when that happens. I'm not going to jump the gun. I'm not going to flip the bird or anything. If it happens, it happens. Such is life, as we say here. But that's a long enough introduction. So here is Cyclonus. Off the bat is one issue I've got. He's too stubby. His legs feel like they should be longer, and when I get to size comparisons, you'll see what I mean. All the top half looks fine. The legs look fine, but the thighs needed to be longer. Obviously, if they were longer, the transformation wouldn't work properly. And I'm a little iffy about some parts of the transformation too. But he does look good. The color is nice. I took photos of it, and for some reason, these 2 sections ended up blue, which I think is actually you can slightly pick it out here. I have found out, I originally said it was because of my camera, and it is due to my camera. Apparently, the light hitting the figure will actually make colors weird. So, you can, if you're looking at it real well, you see that this is a different purple to this, and it's coming out a bit more blue. Ironically, my Skywarps have had the same problem, so hint, hint, Cyclonus became Skywarp. All right, that's as bad as getting into which one's blue and red, Rumble or Frenzy. So there we go. But yeah, he does look good. The transformation has steps that are very, very, very familiar. And once again, I'll point them out. I won't show them, but I will point them out. So there you go. He does look good. And these arms have some amazing articulation in them as far as I'm concerned. Now, this is, of course, the animated version. There is the Generation Select, which is the toy colors. And I think actually might come with Nightstick. He doesn't come with Nightstick or any parts effects. He does come with his blaster. You do have effect ports. You have here, these 2 under here, 1 here, or 5mm ports if you want to call them that. 1 here, 1 there, 1 there, another one under there. I'm actually getting away from parts effects and 5mm ports. I'm finding. Is that it? No, that's not one. There's probably more in alt mode, but we'll get there when we get there. But yeah, he does look pretty damn good, and he does have light piping. Light piping is not something that I bring up a lot often, but I made sure to actually get one of the lights out of my displays, which are currently all dead, so you can actually see them. So he does have, I'm trying not to shine it directly into my camera, but you can see his eyes light up. He has light piping in his body, which is weird because you don't actually see it. I'm just trying to see if I can. Yeah, that's light piping. It's a lot better. I'll show the light piping here when we get to transformation, but for some weird reason it's there, but I don't know how it works. I assume it's meant to go through here, but it doesn't really work. So let's get down to our... Oh, by the way, he does come with some accessories. Specifically, he comes with a card. Dinobot on this end. I peeled a little bit away. Dinobot again. So if you're wondering, yes, that's the card I got. So let's get down to articulation. We can take the gun out of the way. And that just pegs into his hand. Nothing too fancy. All right, so articulation. Head can do a full 360. And there's your light piping there. Can look way up, look way down, which is pretty cool. He does have a bit of side to side. I do wish they had the goatee on this, but such as such. Arms can do a full 360, which is nice because if those wings were attached to the backpack, that wouldn't have happened. Arm goes out this far, which I think is actually pretty cool the way they worked at shoulder articulation. There's your ratchet, even though there's no ratchet in there, it's friction. You have bicep rotation. You have elbow bend there. You have, at least on mine, a very tight wrist rotation. No fingers or thumbs. You don't... Oh, yeah, you have a... Let's not call it a waist swivel. You have a... Oh, there, by the way, there's another part effect. A crutch swivel, which is weird to say. Leg goes up that far, leg goes up that far, goes back that far. You have no idea how nice it is to actually have bots that can actually put their legs back. You have very tight friction mushroom peg upper thigh swivel. You have a double jointed knee, sort of. It actually activates the transformation piece here, but you have here. So really it gets to there, but if you get that little bit extra, it'll go that far. You have a very tight ankle, which gets you that far. You have up, you don't really have down. Now, I want to point out these shoulders because I really do like them. Like I said, the articulation for the shoulders is, I know it seems very basic, but you can articulate them in such nice ways. It's just, I love the shoulders on this thing. I really do. All right. Oops, sorry. Let's get down to transformation. It's not too difficult. I will admit I transformed all this to one point and the legs got me stuck a little bit, but that was only because I don't like forcing my figures the first time out of the box, even though sometimes you do. All right, so let's start with the arms. You're going to flip this out, which will bring the hand to come with it. You want to rotate it the opposite way to this angle, because if you do it this way, the hand gets stuck. So you want to go all the way around, and that folds in. Same on the other side. These were tight on mine, and this one still is. So rotate it around and tab that back in. Now you want to rotate the arm so that the fin is pointing towards you. Do that on both sides. And we're basically doing the wings and getting them all out of the way. Now, out of the box, this was down and this was further out. So you will have to fold this back and fold this up to get it where it's supposed to go. Also, these were the wrong way around. So you're just going to be very carefully fold this out. It's a double hinge. Oh, you can bring this down. Comes out. I'll do a better job next time. But you have this tab here that's going to go into this port. So that locks your wing in place. So this time I'll do a better job. We'll fold this down first. So that fills that out. If you feel that that is, even though it's definitive Cyclonus, that looks too skinny, you bring that out and fill that wing out a little bit more if that's what you want. So you have a double hinge. I'm trying to get it activated and actually show it. So you got a pin here, And this will all swing around till you have it to where it's supposed to be. And once again, you have this tab, this port, and that will tab in there. All right, so you have, technically you have a additional joint, but it's more for transformation, although I don't know how exactly you would get it to work. These two pieces here, if you pull back, it will untap. So if you really want to, you could, I suppose, do an outward bend. But that keeps the shoulders in place, so you get all this here. I am going to rotate the arms up because that's the way we actually want them later on. All right, so we want to bring this forward and bring this all back. Now it's going to be a little bit tight, but there is a pin in here that uses this, moves the whole backpack. So you might have to just fight through a little bit and just get all that down, like so. And then you want to grab his chest piece and bring all that down. Now, there is your light piping for there. It is see-through, but due to the fact of how the transformation works, and I don't think it actually works for, so there you go, you do have light piping there. I think it's just for colored plastic, but I don't think they actually need to make it see-through, but I think I know why they did. But that doesn't really, you can't really use that for alt mode either. So it is what it is. So we're going to flip this back. So our head is this way. Now this is a little fiddly. It's not difficult. It is just a little bit fiddly. So you want to split this. So that's it down. You then want to bring this up so far because it's on the part of the flight stand. Bring it up about that much. Then come in here and you need to split it again, and it's going to come back like so. So it's swinging down on here somewhere. And then you have this piece. So you're going to need a tool. I've tried to use the gun. It didn't work. Here's one of my tools. So just flip that out. It needed something to get your thumb onto there. So bring that out and close that up. Then keep swinging that around till it's in place. Bring this all up, and that's going to tab together. And there is our nose cone. So we can fold this back up, which will lock that in place. We can bring this all back down, which will lock that into place. Now, I don't like this. It's giving me bad flashbacks. It feels like this should pull up. I haven't been able to do that. As far as I know, it just swings. So if you bring, actually, I might do it this way because I think that gives me a little bit more room. So I bring these up and just very carefully spin. There does feel like there's a bit of clearance there somewhere because something does sort of rub somewhere. I'm not sure where. So you just need to rotate that around and we'll deal with the arms in a minute. But that does give me bad memories of G1 Hot Rod. And I think I made a comment about that in the review for the reissue. All right, the legs. You're going to flip this up and flip this out. This is going to go in. This is going to come down. And this is going to slide over where the foot was. So it all encapsulates. Same on this side. Flip this up. Flip this in. Flip this out. Bring it down and down. All right. Now, I've tried doing this together. I don't like it. But what's going to happen is you need to force most of this up here. It doesn't feel good. And I've yet to find a really good way to place my hands. But you need to push this up. And about that much. So it's basically just covering up the gap in the back of his leg. I don't like how that feels. I would have preferred a combiner wars solution because that doesn't feel good against the knees and whatnot. And you know what? I'm just going to turn this around just to give me a bit more clear room so I can grab his leg. There we go. It is super tight, so it'll probably take a little bit. Then we can tab that together, and I'm going to bring this back around like so. And then we have this port with these two tabs. So that's going to come up and slide in. So if you have, I'll just give it a push. If you have this massive gap here, it's because your legs aren't in the right spot. All right, so we can bring these down. These don't really tab in anywhere. They just sort of curl around here. This feels like it should be tabbing in somewhere because it has a slight issue. Not really an issue, but a design flaw. So we'll swing this around here. And then what we can do is we can swing this back. You have this tab here, which will go into this tab here. And it does tab real securely. Just fiddle with your wings a little bit if you need to. And if that's sitting up like this, it's just a matter of these two pins lining them up a little bit better. So rotate that back around. Once again, tab, port, tab that in. And tab secure, it's really secure. And there is Cyclonus in his alt mode. I'll drop the camera down a little bit. This is what I meant about it. I wish it tabbed in, but I don't think it can actually could go any further without breaking this stuff. Oh, by the way, you have that flight wheel there. It doesn't roll or anything. These ones, iffy. So get your thumb in there, and you're going to hit here, and you're going to think, oh, I'm going to snap that. You just have to keep putting force in it until it will slide back. This one's a little bit more looser. But yeah, it will get back, but it doesn't feel too good. So there is Cyclonus in his alt mode. So these pieces here is probably where I'm worried it's going to go yellow, especially these two. But I can't really help it because I'm not going and buying another Fans Tours Quietus, or I'm not getting X-Transbots Algelion. I'm perfectly happy for this guy as my Armada. I just had to reorganize my shelf. So he does look really good. I love the canopy. You can't open it because of these pieces here, which is a pity. Doesn't come with a small Galvatron, doesn't come with Nightstick. But of course, you can take his gun and you can plug it in there, which looks a bit wonky. But in saying that, I think Nightstick sat here originally in the toys, in the cartoon. He does have more 5mm ports, so now we have these two here, we have these two here, we have these here. So I suppose if you really wanted to, if you manage to get your hands on two of Cyclonus's guns, you can do that. Seeing that one. Just looking for any more. I think that's about it. Of course, it's up to you if you actually want the nose cone the way this is, because I know I have seen it without that. You can just slide that back in there if you really, really want to. All right, size comparison. Here he is with Windblade. I'll lift the camera up a little bit. So he is pretty decent size compared to Windblade. I want to say he's a Voyager. So he does come pretty damn big, or pretty reasonably big in alt mode. So there we go. You know, we can't use any light effects or anything because plastic and everything's in the way. Just having a look in there if we got any. I don't think we have any little Galvatrons in there or anything. I don't think. Turn the light on. Don't think we do. There's something shiny in there. I think that's just the screws and everything holding in place. Would be pretty cool if there was. But unfortunately, there is not. So let's get this guy back into robot mode, which is not the mode I will be keeping for. It will fold up these. And we can fold this up. So this is fine. These are wonky. All right. So these tab in real tight. So you might need a tool. So be careful of these pieces here. I don't even know where my part separator is gone. Excuse me, tweezers. If I can get it in there. There we go. So yeah, I would highly recommend something to separate that, because I have a feeling if you force that too much, it's going to break that. And because of the transformation, this is tabbed into here, so you're pulling on that as well. So As you can see, it's actually separating where the transformation joint is. So that is a little bit iffy for that elbow, I think. All right, so separate that and we'll leave the arms the way they are. We can obviously lift these up and we'll just sort of curl them up so we can get a bit more clearance for later if we need it. There we go. All right, we'll do the legs first. So we're going to bend down so that way it untabs to there. Split these and you're going to pull. And once again, I don't like the way it feels, but at least now I can just get my thumb here and pull a little bit. And if you get this far, it's too far. You basically need to get this joint to be flattened out. So just bend the knee a bit, bring that down, and you want to see half of the joint. That's why you know it's in the right spot. So there we go. That one came out easier. Just down a little bit, fiddle with that a little bit, and there we go. So that's where we want it. You can make him taller using the other one, but you're going to have a giant gap here. And also a very skinny part of the thigh. So we can unhook this, lift this up, bring the foot down, fold this in on itself, bring that down, and one done. Fold that all up, bring that down, fold that in, and bring that down, and that's the legs all done. Might as well get the backpack organized properly. So rotate that around. And we'll just bring these arms down. So that way we're not bumping into anything. We're going to grab here, and the seam is here. Just bring that back. Try to get those arms out of the way so we can get it all the way down because it will cause issues with clearance. Bring this all out. Then we'll move the camera up a little bit. And we want to split here. So we have this part open, the head will probably move. Bring that back a bit. Untab this again. So it has this sort of weird look to it. Fold the nose cone in and bring that up. And instead of sliding it back up there, you're going to, carefully, without using that, slide this backwards, accordion backwards, so it sits into here. That will close there, and then we'll go this way. And that is our torso where it's supposed to be. Bring the chest up. Bring the backpack up. Give it a squeeze. You have these tabs that are going to go into here. So if it goes like this, you're like, it's not lining up. You once again have to get this all slid forward, and then it'll tab in. Like so. We can bring our arms down. All right, we want to bend the elbow in like we did to get it transformed. That will clear all this. So we can bring all this back, coordinate it backwards. It's a bit tight, but eventually it'll loosen a little bit. Fold our little portion of the wing there back. We can rotate the bicep, pull this forward, rotate it the appropriate way so we can get past this piece. And collapse that, and that is one arm all done. Once again, bend that elbow, accordion that all back, bring that up, rotate, get this forward. I will say, being able to grab onto this thruster makes it easier than trying to get your nail under here. I haven't tried it with the hand, so let's try it with the hand. Oh, the hand, so-so, because I always try to keep getting it under here. And there we go. There is Cyclonus back in his robot mode. And I'll fix the camera up so it's actually focused on him. So there we go. Now let's do final size comparisons. Here he is with MP10. So going by the top of his rabbit ears, he's about almost up to his chest. And last but not least, Fans Toys Quietus T, the toon version of Cyclonus. I believe the original Quietus matched the movie more accurately. But I will say there are steps in him I find in him. The wings folding in is very reminiscent. I won't show this guy. If you want to see what it would look like, I'll put a link to that review, which is way old at this point. But inside his chest piece is basically what you find inside his. Now, admittedly, his ears are a bit wider, and that all ends up merging with the canopy instead of just swinging around. But there is a lot of transformation in his chest that he was already doing. And the wings, I want to say, are very reminiscent of what this guy eventually does. So I, once again, say that Hasbro, Takara, whichever you want to call them, are definitely taking hints from third party. They did it with the Stunticons. That was basically X-Transbots, DX9s, their Menasors. They've used hints for Cyclonus. Who was the other one I had? There was another character toy, whether I bought it or I saw it, and it's very reminiscent of their transformation as well. But that's neither here nor there. Hey, third party takes their characters and makes them their own. Hasbro and Takara, as far as I'm concerned, have the rights to nick how the transformations work because that is their characters. Take it for what it's worth. So, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like this video, give me a thumbs down. I promise you it will not hurt my feelings. Subscribe, ring that bell, leave me a comment. And apart from that, thanks for watching. I'll catch you later.